11 years after he stormed to power, a decade after disrupting Indian politics, Arvind Kejriwal lands in jail. Haunted and hunted by Liquorgate. From the streets to the lockup. This is the story of the endless Kejri war. This is the house where Arvind Kejriwal was born in a middle-class family in Bhiwani district of Haryana on the 16th of August 1968. His father was an electrical engineer and his work led to many changes in the family's residence. Kejriwal spent most of his childhood in North Indian towns such as Sonipat, Ghaziabad and Hisar. This is the colony where Kejriwal spent more than a decade of his crucial formative years preparing for his academics.
कभी कोई हमें पढ़ाई में कोई दिक्कत आती थी, कोई सम सॉल्व नहीं होता था तो उनसे भैया से हम हेल्प लेते थे।
एक तो ये बच्चा बहुत शुरू से गंभीर था और पढ़ाई में ज़्यादा ध्यान रहता था।
जिस तरह से वो सिंसियरिटी के साथ में, डेडिकेशन के साथ में कॉलेज में अपना पढ़ाई करते थे, उससे लगता था कि एक दिन ये विद्यार्थी जो है निश्चित रूप से अपना भी अपने परिवार का नाम रोशन करेगा।
He was one of the brightest students. Civics was one of his best and most favorite subject. I still remember he had so deep knowledge about this subject.
After Kejriwal completed his studies in mechanical engineering from IIT Kharagpur, Tata Steel hired him in 1989 to work as a mechanical engineer in Jamshedpur. For the 3 years that he worked there, he wanted to be part of the social welfare department of Tata Steel, but he was not allowed. Kejriwal resigned from Tata Steel in 1992 and decided to prepare for IAS exams. In 1995, he cleared the civil service exams to join public service. As an Indian Revenue Service officer, Kejriwal was troubled by rampant corruption in the income tax department. In December 1999, while still in service with the Income Tax Department, Kejriwal, Manish Sisodia and others founded a movement named Parivartan, a Delhi-based citizens movement which addressed grievances related to public distribution system, public works, social welfare schemes, income tax and electricity. In February 2006, Arvind Kejriwal resigned from his job to work full-time at Parivartan. In July 2006, he spearheaded an awareness campaign for right to information across India. Later that year, he was given the Ramon Magsaysay Award for Emergent Leadership for his involvement with Parivartan. The award recognized him for activating the right to information movement at the grassroots and empowering New Delhi's poor citizens to fight corruption. In the years that followed, he was to team up with anti-corruption crusader Anna Hazare. And the focus of that period of his public life was a single point demand, that a Lokpal bill be passed by Parliament.
ये जनता का आंदोलन है। जनता ने इस आंदोलन में निर्णय लिए, जनता ने इस आंदोलन को दिशा दी।
By 2011, Kejriwal had zoomed into the public glare. He became the prickly thorn in the side of the polity, the consummate agitator, the relentless motivator who worked behind the scenes as Anna Hazare went on a much publicized fast to demand passage of the Jan Lokpal bill. Soon protests spread across the country. A series of demonstrations in different parts of India called for the establishment of strong legislation and enforcement against deep-rooted corruption. In response to the campaign, the government's advisory body drafted a Lokpal bill. However, the UPA government National Advisory Council's bill was criticized by Kejriwal and other activists. Kejriwal said that it did not have enough power to take action against the Prime Minister and other allegedly corrupt office holders and the judiciary. Amid continuing protests, the government constituted a committee to draft a Jan Lokpal bill. Kejriwal was one of the civil society representative members of this committee. However, he alleged that India Against Corruption activists had an unequal position in the committee and the government appointees kept ignoring their recommendations. The UPA government argued that the activists could not be allowed to blackmail the elected representatives through protests. Kejriwal retorted that democratically elected representatives could not be allowed to function like dictators and asked for a public debate on the contentious issues. India Against Corruption activists intensified their protests and Anna Hazare organized a hunger strike.
हम लोग ये पूरा का पूरा आंदोलन व्यवस्था परिवर्तन के लिए चला रहे हैं, सत्ता परिवर्तन के लिए नहीं। ये आंदोलन राजनीतिक विकल्प देने के लिए है, सत्ता हथियाने के लिए नहीं है, बल्कि सत्ता के केंद्रीकरण को खत्म करके सारी की सारी सत्ता जनता के हाथ में सौंपने के लिए है ये आंदोलन।
As the movement began to lose steam over slow progressing talks with other political parties, Arvind Kejriwal decided to rejuvenate it through the political route. Towards the end of 2012, with apolitical means seemingly taking them nowhere, Kejriwal quit the fold to join the political mainstream by forming the Aam Aadmi Party.
आज इस मंच से हम ऐलान करना चाहते हैं कि हाँ, हम अब चुनाव लड़के दिखाएंगे आपको।
This action of Kejriwal meant that he and Anna Hazare had to part ways. The divorce between the two became final when in November 2012, Kejriwal's Aam Aadmi Party came into existence.
हम इस देश की राजनीति बदलने के लिए आए हैं। ये राजनीति जो पैसे की, अपराध की, भ्रष्टाचार की राजनीति हो गई, इसको बदलना चाहते हैं। और 2 अक्टूबर को जब हमने अनाउंस किया था, हमने कहा था इन लोगों ने हमें मजबूर किया है राजनीति में आने के लिए। ये लोग हमें चैलेंज करते रहे, चुनाव लड़के दिखाओ, चुनाव लड़के दिखाओ। अब इनको चुनाव लड़के दिखाएंगे और आज के बाद हम इन लोगों को चैन से नहीं बैठने देंगे।
From the shrill, oft-quoted rhetoric of accusing politicians of corruption, Arvind Kejriwal was now a political leader himself. The newborn party started its journey with street protests against the Sheila Dikshit government for allegedly siding with private power distribution companies and against Salman Khurshid for alleged irregularities in his family-run NGO. Within months of forming the party, the Aam Aadmi Party decided to contest the Delhi Legislative Assembly election 2013, with Kejriwal contesting against the incumbent Congress Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit. From day one of the 2013 Delhi election campaign, the Aam Aadmi Party changed the trajectory of the capital's war. It was no longer a bipartite domination between the Congress and the BJP. There emerged a third option, a strong people's favourite, the Aam Aadmi Party. It was in December 2013 that the sweeping broom of democracy made its presence felt in the Delhi Assembly election, and Arvind Kejriwal proved his detractors wrong. Kejriwal defeated Sheila Dikshit, who had been Chief Minister of Delhi for 3 successive terms and became the youngest Chief Minister of India. Ironically, it was with outside support from the Congress that Kejriwal was sworn in as the Chief Minister of Delhi on the 28th of December 2013. More drama was to follow, events that would severely test Kejriwal's staying power in politics. His leadership would be questioned and his relevance debated. For 49 days, Delhi witnessed what the rule of the Aam Aadmi meant. Starting a public debate on what accommodation befits an Aam Aadmi Chief Minister to no red beacon car at assembly parkings. It was a novelty for the common people of Delhi to see their government tackle issues that had not much to do with governance. Kejriwal's form of governance seemed to be literally happening on the streets of the city. The Chief Minister of Delhi became the biggest agitator on the streets, and his tug-of-war for authority with the central government brought Delhi to a standstill. In the newly formed assembly, the decibel kept rising. The BJP as the opposition labelled the Chief Minister an anarchist. Delhi election 2013 had bolstered Arvind Kejriwal's political ambitions. With 28 seats and support from his once arch-rival the Congress, Kejriwal decided to table the Jan Lokpal bill in the Delhi Assembly. But on Valentine's Day of 2014, Kejriwal's love affair with the Delhi Chief Minister's chair ended, a mere 49 days after it began. With strong opposition from both the BJP and the Congress, Kejriwal failed to table the Jan Lokpal bill and in retaliation recommended the dissolution of the Assembly. The angry young man of Indian politics reached out beyond the walls of Delhi to make an unsuccessful bid at national politics, only to fall flat on his face. He soon realized his strength was the capital voter, and the foundation for his future rise starts from the Delhi Darbar. The biggest challenge this time around was the BJP and their larger-than-life icon, Prime Minister Narendra Modi. In the initial days of campaigning, the people of Delhi were faced with the choice of Kejriwal, the Chief Minister who ran away in 49 days, and a Modi-type government by the BJP. But then the BJP propped up Kejriwal's old comrade, Kiran Bedi, as the BJP's chief ministerial choice, and the tide began to turn. Kejriwal campaigned not for the Jan Lokpal, but for Bijli, Sadak and Pani, and Delhi came out in hordes to vote him back to power. The Aam Aadmi Party wiped out the Congress from the state and reduced the BJP to a mere 3 seats.
Arvind Kejriwal, ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं, ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं.
In his second term as Delhi Chief Minister, he started to turn into an astute politician from an activist turned political leader. Soon after the Aam Aadmi Party thundered back to power with its massive mandate, the tug-of-war between Kejriwal and Najib Jung started building up. Kejriwal kept blaming the Lieutenant Governor for every administration and policy failure, be it the strike of administrative officers before the odd-even scheme or the CBI raid on his office. Jung, in turn, left no stone unturned in making the first term of the Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi difficult. After 2 long years of this tug-of-war, the saga of a power tussle between the Aam Aadmi Party and Lieutenant Governor finally ended when Najib Jung suddenly resigned in December 2016. For a political party that started off its legislative history with such a bang, the ensuing years have been a downward slide on the graph. Squandering away the goodwill it had earned in its initial days, the vicious infighting and often very public differences surfaced within the party leadership soon after. The Arvind Kejriwal-led Delhi government tried to whitewash its public image with lavish spending on advertisements. By March 2017, the newly appointed Lieutenant Governor Baijal directed the Aam Aadmi Party government to cough up 97 crore rupees of public money that the Kejriwal government spent on advertisements violating Supreme Court guidelines. One after another, defamation cases started to pile up against Kejriwal and his party. So much so that by May 2017, Chief Minister Kejriwal had 8 defamation cases against him. In 2018, the ugly face-off between the Aam Aadmi Party and the bureaucracy in the national capital held the city-state to ransom. Kejriwal approached then Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, Anil Baijal, and sought his intervention. The tumultuous second term led to an improved public health system with mohalla clinics and a reinvention of Delhi schools run by municipal corporations. Bharat Mata Ki! And despite the massive Modi wave and degenerating party democracy, Arvind Kejriwal became the chief minister once again in 2020, right before the world was hit by the COVID pandemic. He was now the Satrap of Delhi, with aspirations to spread his wings beyond the Yamuna. The Aam Aadmi Party, from the very first year of its existence, has been plagued with trusted lieutenants leaving its camp one after another. What once was a motivated and inspired team of changemakers soon became a political party revolving around its cult leadership of Arvind Kejriwal alone, with Manish Sisodia standing by him as the last guard of old comrades. After its first brush with power in Delhi for 49 days, Arvind Kejriwal was bold enough to challenge then Gujarat Chief Minister and an aspirant Prime Ministerial candidate of the Lotus from his Lok Sabha constituency of Varanasi in a direct fight. Bolstered by his giant-killing performance in Delhi Assembly, Kejriwal was sure that the people of Varanasi would prefer his one-point anti-corruption agenda. But the Lok Sabha election turned out to be a different ballgame from the battle for the Delhi Assembly. Varanasi is not Delhi, and Arvind Kejriwal was not prepared for the reception he received in Kashi. As days progressed, Varanasi became a one-sided contest favouring Narendra Modi. Meanwhile, Kejriwal, as the star campaigner for his party, had to travel the country because his Aam Aadmi Party had decided to try their luck all over the nation. The hope was that what the Aam Aadmi Party did in Delhi could be replicated at a national level. But the day of the verdict came as a downer. Defeat for the Aam Aadmi Party was written all over. The party managed to win only 2 seats from Punjab, while Varanasi and India voted emphatically for Narendra Modi and the BJP. Kejriwal and his Aam Aadmi Party's credibility and significance seem to have been limited to Delhi in 2014. For the next 5 years, while ruling Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal kept hoping for a larger empire for his party. And the first state to hold some hope for him was the neighbouring state of Punjab. In the 2017 Punjab Assembly election, the Aam Aadmi Party became the main opposition party in its debut with 20 seats. But it wasn't so lucky in Goa, Gujarat, or in any other states after 2017. In fact, beyond Delhi and Punjab, the Aam Aadmi Party failed to win a single seat in any state in that period. 2 years later, in the 2019 Lok Sabha election, the Aam Aadmi Party was better experienced and contested only in 35 compared to its 2014 disastrous attempt at 432 seats. Nearly 6.5 years since it was born, for the first time the Aam Aadmi Party reached the Lok Sabha with only 1 seat. With a Basanti Pagdi, Bhagwant Singh Maan became the voice of the Aam Aadmi Party's revolutionary voice in the lower house of parliament. After Arvind Kejriwal, Bhagwant Maan became the face of the party in the years that followed. In 2022, he became the chief ministerial candidate for the party, and the Aam Aadmi Party swept Punjab with 92 seats.
मैंने कहा था नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू हारेंगे, चन्नी साहब दोनों सीटों से हारेंगे, बादल साहब का पूरा परिवार हारेगा.
Bhagwant Maan became chief minister with Arvind Kejriwal standing by him. But Punjab was not the only state that embraced the Aam Aadmi Party that year. In Goa, they had won 2 seats. And in Gujarat, though there was a lot of noise about them being disruptors during the campaign, the Aam Aadmi Party could only manage 5 seats. The Bhagwant Maan government in Punjab is 2 years old, fighting its own challenges. It also has to shoulder the burden of the national aspirations of the party, as Aam Aadmi Arvind Kejriwal tries to swell beyond Delhi and Punjab and become the national political challenger to the 2 main political parties of India.
ईडी ने अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को अरेस्ट कर लिया है, ये बिल्कुल साफ था। जितनी भारी संख्या में पुलिस आई थी, जितनी भारी संख्या में पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेस यहाँ पे स्टेशन थे, कि आज ईडी अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को अरेस्ट करने के लिए आ रही है।
Though arrested, the Delhi Chief Ministers, being in the custody of the Enforcement Directorate, may not have caught his Aam Aadmi Party off guard. Back in November 2023, the Aam Aadmi Party initiated a campaign to gather public opinion on whether its leader should step down if arrested in the Liquorgate scam.
ये पैम्पलेट सभी लोगों को दिया जाएगा घर घर जा करके, उस पर चर्चा की जाएगी कि आखिर ये घोटाला फर्जी कैसे है, अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को मोदी जी गिरफ्तार क्यों करना चाहते हैं, और फिर आखिर में उनसे पूछा जाएगा कि क्या गिरफ्तारी अगर होती है तो अरविंद केजरीवाल को इस्तीफा देना चाहिए या नहीं देना चाहिए.
The party that he formed lacks, like many other regional parties in India, a second-rung leadership. There's a vacuum because Arvind Kejriwal's decades-long friend Manish Sisodia too is in jail, and he was the best hope the party had in a situation precisely like this.
अरविंद केजरीवाल जी दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री थे, दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री हैं और दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री रहेंगे. हमने शुरू से स्पष्ट किया है कि अगर जरूरत पड़ेगी तो अरविंद केजरीवाल जी जेल से सरकार चलाएंगे.
Kejriwal's arrest dramatically brought the disarrayed opposition India alliance together in his support.
ये ईडी इसको केवल चुनाव के साथ जोड़ रहा है, इसका और कोई लेना देना नहीं है, और इस बात को हम कंडेम करते हैं, इसकी हम घोर निंदा करते हैं. एजेंसियों का इस तरीके से मोदी सरकार का दुरुपयोग करना अपने में सरासर गलत है, गैर लोकतांत्रिक है.
General elections are announced and there's not even a month left before the first phase of voting starts. The Aam Aadmi Party, though, joined the opposition alliance, has been bargaining hard for seats with the big brother of the India alliance, the Congress. Kejriwal was well aware of the possibility of his being arrested, as he ignored as many as 9 summons of the Enforcement Directorate, only to find no legal reprieve in a court battle. Bhagwant Singh Mann is leading the party's remaining candidate selection process for the coming Lok Sabha election. It has so far announced candidates in Delhi, Haryana and some Punjab seats. But more than that, what remains in question is how will the Delhi legislature function? What will be the future of Arvind Kejriwal and his party? Will they survive this grand smashing challenge or split and disappear? Or will he be the galvanizing force to bring the opposition together and be the challenger to the predicted saffron sweep? Will the noise become thunder? Or will it fizzle out like bubbles on a liquor glass? Arvind Kejriwal is standing in the middle of this war with his own trumpet, still fighting, but then for how long?